Hi folks, Rodney Creator for Programmers Institute here. The previous video, the video 2, showed you how we developed this little application here that we could enter two different numbers in, press multiply, and then get a result. Okay, this is a button, and these are two different edit texts, and this is a text view here, or I mean a text view right here where we get a result out. Alright, now I had told you I was going to show you how to prevent someone from entering in a letter instead of a number. And it's actually quite simple to do. What we're going to do is right here, after our layout, we're going to go ahead and make a little space here. I'm going to get a hold of number 1 text, which is our edit text box. Oops. And it just jumped on me, sorry about that. That's what you get when you just press enter. Okay, now I'm going to press the dot here, and what we're going to do is we're going to select set input type. So set input type, and that's this right here. Okay, now what this is going to do is it's going to qualify what type of character is allowed to be typed into this edit text. And in order to tell it what type of character, we have to go to a special class, okay, and that's called the input type class. So we're going to say, okay, go to the input type class, okay, and we're going to find the type class number. Okay, so type class number right here. Notice there's a lot of you could do text if you wanted to, and just only allow it to a person to enter in text or phone or daytime, etc. Okay, so I'm going to select number and then put the semicolon. There. Now a person is only allowed to type in a number into this edit text, and we'll do the same thing for our other one. I'll change this to 2. There. Okay, now that addresses both of these edit texts. And I'll run it so that you can see what's going on. And in a second it'll pop up, and I'll show you when it does pop up, I'll show you that you can only enter in numbers now. It will not let you enter in any kind of special symbols or letters. So if I click right here, okay, notice I only get numbers. I'm not allowed. You notice the letters don't show up on these keys anymore. Alright? So, if I type 1, for instance, there's our 1. So you're restricting the user from, so that they only enter in numbers. Alright? Now, one fallacy here is, of course, you don't have your decimal point. So you'll have to enter in a different type class in order to have a decimal point. But for right now, we'll just deal with integers, and that's fine. Different phones may respond slightly differently to this as well. Okay, I'm going to go 5, okay, and then press multiply, and we get 5.0. Now, we've set it up for doubles, but right now, like I say, integers is fine. A different phone may respond again differently. Anyway, as we go on here, another thing that I wanted to show you is how do we size this right here. Notice this is a little smaller than the rest of what we have here. We can actually get a hold of this text view and tell it to use a 20-point font, or set it to 20 points. Alright, so that's what we're going to do here. Right under, right here, we can do it, oh, right here is good. It doesn't really matter that much. I'm going to go answer text, and then set text size. Okay, so set text size. I'm going to use let's see, set text size. And then inside of here, I'm going to tell it specifically to use the typed value class. Okay, so we're going to reach into the typed value class. And find a complex unit. Okay, the complex unit SP. For now, this will work. SP is fine. Okay, and then tell it to set it to 20 pixels, just like that. Alright, or to 20. Anyway, that's fine. 20 will work for us. You may want to play with this to see what the sizing and how it changes for you. Alright, so now I'm going to go ahead and save that, and we'll run it, and I'll show you how it will change the size of this text right here. Now, this is not the only way you can do it, of course, but this is just one way. There's lots of ways to do things in programming, and there's lots of ways in Android to do different things as well. And I guess that's what's really wild about it, is that there's just so many different ways to do things, and it seems like nobody has an absolute answer. See, now we've got a larger number here. See that? Alright. So now, the next thing that I want to show you in here is how do we change the size of these boxes and the button. Okay? So what we're going to do is we have to wait until after we add them to the into the layout. Then after we've added them into the layout, what we're going to do is we're going to get a hold of each one. We're going to say, hey, number text 1. Okay, I'm going to set, oops, I typed it a little bit wrong. So number 1 text layout. Number 1 text. Okay, we're going to set your layout parameters. Okay, so set layout parameters. Alright. Now, here's where it gets a little bit tricky. It depends on, you can do this again a number of ways. Probably one of the shortest, simplest, easiest ways to do this is go ahead right on the spot and create a new linear layout parameter object. So, what you would do is you'd say, okay, go ahead and make a new linear layout. Since we're dealing with linear layouts, layout parameter object. Okay. Or layout params, I should say. So it's layout params. And then in here you're going to give it 2 figures, width and height, at least for what we're doing. So we're going to say, let's make the buttons, okay, 50 wide, or 150 wide, and let's say about 50 high. Alright, now you can again play with this and adjust it however you wish. There. So there, that's going to set the size of this button to be, about halfway on this device that I've got. I'm going to copy this and make life real simple. Copy it, paste it, and paste it again, and then we'll just change this to not the second text box, and this one will change to the button. We'll get all the button, tell it to change its layout parameters. Like that. Okay. Now we'll go ahead and run it, and I'll show you what it looks like. And as it comes up, we see that it is indeed smaller. See that? We've just resized these. One other trick that I'm going to show you in this video is how do we center this. Now, positioning it takes a little bit more if you want to absolutely position these things, and again, there's different ways to do it. For now, I want to keep it simple, and later on we'll deal with positioning more absolutely. We're just going to go ahead and center these. Instead of having them default to the left, go ahead and have them, we'll center everything. And that's actually quite easy to do. We've told the linear layout that we want it to put things in a vertical fashion. But now we're going to tell the linear layout right here that we want to set, that when they go in, we want them to center themselves. So we'll go layout 1. Okay, we're going to set what's called the gravity. Okay. Now gravity, you're going to have to create a gravity object, or use a gravity object to do this. So we go gravity. Okay, gravity object. There's some preset gravity objects. We want center horizontal, so that we'll drop that in there like that. Okay, there. Now it's going to. Now what it's going to do is it's going to tell this set gravity is going to tell the layout, go ahead and have everything center themselves horizontally. In other words, this way. This is horizontal. So it's going to center horizontally. run this, and I'll show you what it looks like. And wait 1 second, it'll pop up, and you'll see the things are centered right down the line. Okay. And there it is. Things are centered now. I did not center this one. Now we could do that. We could go ahead and center it if we wanted to. Alright, we do it in the same fashion as we just did earlier on. But anyway, we'll go ahead and we'll type a number in here just to show you if things are working. I'm going to click here. I'm going to type just 6. Again, you might want a different type of number, or the different type of phone might respond differently. And 7. We'll go ahead and type 7 in there. Okay, so 6 times 7 should be what, 42? Let's check and see. And sure enough, 42. Alright, that should give you some idea of what we can play around with. Oh, I mistyped the 6 right there, my bust. Okay, that should give you an idea of what you can play around with, and you should do that. You should play around with the stuff, see if you can move stuff around, mess with it, and then I'm going to come back and we're going to work some more with this. I'm going to add a couple of more buttons, one to multiply, one to divide, one to do different functions as if we actually had a calculator, and we'll do some more formatting as well. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it helps, and I hope you're learning well. By the way, I just saw in the news today, and this is probably dating this video, but I just saw in the news today on Yahoo that top 7 jobs of over 70,000, and they listed at the bottom that Android programmers, the median wage was sitting at about 70,000. That's pretty good wages, folks. So, hey, get to learning this stuff. Anyway, have a great day.